Anoka High School. A spot in the state Class 4A girls basketball tournament is on the line next. It's the Section 5 championship as number 2 seed Roseville takes on number 1 seed Maple Grove in a rematch of last year's final. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Patty Sorensen, and Patty, kind of became apparent that halfway through the season, if not earlier, that these were probably the two teams that were favorites to get to this section final, and they won their way into this spot here tonight.
You know, I agree with you. You know, watching them play, watching both teams progress, it looked like they would be the ones that were here, and I think this is going to be a great game to see tonight.
Roseville 18-10, but my goodness, have they played a tough schedule. They are very battle-tested. Faced, besides a very good Suburban East Conference schedule, they've had a lot of tough non-conference tests to get them ready for a night like this as well.
Well, I think that's what Coach Scott said too when we talked. He said, you know, we wanted to build our schedule tougher. We wanted to make it tougher, have these kids experience it, so when we get to now, they've had that opportunity, and now's when it all counts.
Maple Grove, same thing. They get tested in the Northwest Suburban for sure, but they also scheduled a bunch of late conference teams. They lost some of those games, but I think coaches, the longer you're at it, you realize it's more about making your team better, not so much about the record.
Exactly. You know, playing those other teams outside of the conference from the late conference, a little tougher competition at times, different looks, different things, and I think it's great when you can do that and challenge your kids. It gives the kids a good growing experience and a way to evaluate and know where they want to continue on.
Maple Grove, a little bit of a slow start the other night in the semis, but strong defense in the second half. They only gave up 7 points and relatively easily advancing to the final as they pulled away. Let's take a look at key players to watch for in today's game. Obviously, we've got some very good ones on both teams, starting with Kendall Barnes of Roseville. Have to keep her out of the paint if you're Maple Grove.
Oh, you do. She's very talented young lady, and she will attack. She's smooth when she does it. She can dish the ball too, but when she gets in there to watch her attack, it's fun to watch her play.
At 31 against Champlain Park in the semis, and we're going to talk about Kennedy Click, the senior guard for Maple Grove, kind of does a little bit of everything.
Oh, she does. You know, Kennedy being a left-hander too, she'll attack, she'll get great assists, and she can shoot it from the outside, and some of the passes she makes are just phenomenal to watch.
She'll be a future Gopher, and she reiterated that despite Coach Whalen not coming back, she is still going to honor her commitment to the University of Minnesota. But first things first, both these teams looking to get into the state tournament. Roseville last year they ended up upsetting Shakopee in the first round and took 4th in the state tournament. Maple Grove, the loss to the Raiders last year, stung them all off season. They've been preparing for this night ever since. We'll see who's headed to state here. Roseville, Maple Grove, up next here, 4A girls basketball out of Section 5. And welcome back to Anoka. The anticipation for this one, they didn't have a lot of time between semis and finals, but as we said, I think all season long, both teams have been sort of eyeing the other from afar. They did not meet in the regular season, but getting ready to battle each other. They're expecting all the way along.
Well, right, you know, and it's like we talked about, both of them have played tough schedules, you know, and you talk about you get to playoffs and you are 0-0. The record 0-0. Right now both teams are 2-0, and they're just ready to go.
you want that feeling of excitement and knowing that it could be your last game, but you also don't want to be tense out here. And I think the players who've been through it before probably helps them out a little bit. There's the starters on the left: Roseville, Kendall Barnes, Drew Johnston, their top 2 scorers, along with Mira Jackson, Lily Pepper and Lucy Sundberg, Claire Stern, Kate Holmquist, Kennedy Click, Jordan Odie, the top scorer for Maple Grove, and Audrey Corman. Each team 1 freshman in the starting lineup.
Well, you talk about playoff time, and
here's Click for the layup, and Maple Grove on the board early.
Earlier games, you're watching the earlier games, and you see some of that tournament jitters. There was no tournament jitters with Kennedy right there. We're taking the ball and we're going.
Nice drive right down the guts, but it wouldn't go for Barnes, and now Click pushing it back for Maple Grove. Almost lost it, but swings it across. Holmquist an open look and buries the 3, the freshman, and Maple Grove quickly up 5-zip.
This is going to be a fun matchup to watch these 2 young ladies go against each other tonight.
Sundberg's jumper wouldn't go. Holmquist getting it ahead to Claire Stern. Now they go inside for Corman. Roseville likes to get up and pressure the ball. Mark Cook is saying we really have to not let them speed us up. Odie missing the jumper there.
They do like to run the ball. They like to be quick, and they do like to put a lot of pressure on you when you're on the offensive set.
Here's Barnes attacking but missed. Corman the rebound. And then Click had it stolen away by Barnes. Out on the wing. Barnes will bring it back up top to get things reset here for the Raiders. They have yet to score here. Trailing at 5-zip. Barnes going to let it fly, and this one's good for 3.
That's one thing the Raiders also have. They have players that can score both ways. They'll attack the bucket like we'll see her do, and they can pull up and they can hit from the 3s.
And there's Barnes with the steal. And scores it, plus the foul on Jordan Odie. Did a good job of shielding the ball with her body there. And Odie called for bumping Barnes. She'll get a chance for a 3-point play here. Seemed to be a whole lot of contact there, but
Jordan's thinking, I don't know if I could have played that much cleaner, but they must have seen something from their angle that we didn't.
For the lead, Barnes has all 6 points for Roseville. They now lead 6-5 after Maple Grove had led 5-zip to start. Click, driving it, and knocked away on the way up, but she brought that ball down, trying to set up a scoop layup there. Back to Click. Ooh, might have got away with the travel there, but Barnes grabs the rebound. Look to inside here to Pepper, and they'll bring it back out. Barnes attacking around Click and drew the foul.
She is so quick with that step on hers to the basket, Barnes is, and you've seen her do that. I've seen her play it that way too, where she attacks like that. She also can quickly dish it off to a teammate.
Free throw bounces and drops. Roseville's done a nice job of spreading the court out enough too to give her room. I mean, that's a lot of area to defend, even for a good defender. When the dribbler has room to go both ways, I think Maple Grove want to shore that up a little bit, help defense-wise.
Yeah, I agree with you that there was just a lot of space for her to work, and she's so quick that if you give her that much space, it's going to be totally to her advantage. Right now they got Barnes all over Odie. She's not going to leave her for anything.
Click, nice dish over to Stern, left it short, but puts the rebound back in.
And that's where Maple Grove's going to have to be real successful too, is with that inside game, getting other people involved in it real quick.
Johnston cut off on the drive. Odie. Oh, there's a nice dish. Barnes for the layup there to Sundberg. And say Odie knows that Johnston's a shooter and was up on her too, like they were doing to her at the other end.
Exactly, and then once they came over to help, then they had the dish underneath.
Click down the middle, spins it up, no good with her offhand the right, but she was fouled. Sundberg will pick up the foul there for Roseville. A little bit of a concern maybe for both coaches that their guards have been getting to the rim with relative ease there, it seems.
I agree with you. It seems like they both have been able to be able to attack the bucket, and it's which coach is going to figure out the answer quicker.
Quick hitting 1 out of 2. So it stays a 1-point lead here for Roseville.
Well, and it looks like Maple Grove is switching up who's guarding Barnes. For a while it was Click, now it's Odie. They're throwing different looks at her.
Pepper, a nice spin move, but Stern stayed with her. And over to Jackson. Barnes ran into a couple defenders there, got the pass away just in time. Here's Pepper for the layup. A little hesitation dribble. I think the defenders kind of got caught up in the wash a little bit there and couldn't get back to her. Down low to Corman, attack, scores, plus the foul. Corman, a nice ducky in there. It was a nice little set for Maple Grove.
And I think that's going to be one of the keys for Maple Grove. I mean, she's solid, she plays really strong, and if they can get the ball into her, that's going to open up some of their other options too. She just stayed steady with that. She was fouled as she was going up, was able to finish that. Nice job.
Missed the free throw, however. Foul was on Johnston, by the way. There's Barnes. Got bumped a little bit, but you say play on. And now Jackson pulling it back out of there a little bit. Johnston, couple crossovers. Holmquist stayed right with her though. Here's Jackson at 5'3", trying to get space to shoot it. Pepper, another layup. Got just a little bit of a step on Stern, and that was a not real easy shot.
No, she was out from the basket, and she was able to finish with her underhand layup there, but she was going away from it a bit.
3-point lead here for Roseville. Section 5 4A Girls Basketball Championship here on CCX. Thanks so much for joining us. And there's a near steal. Now they will get it. But knocked away on Jackson's pass. Bounces over to the corner, and Johnston was too long with that one. Jackson trying to save it, but her foot was on the line. And so it will be Maple Grove basketball. Subbing in for the Crimson now is Allie Nasoy, number 21. Be interesting to see how much subbing you do. Certainly the bench can play a vital role, but I think you get to a section final, you're going to ride your hot hands, and your best player is probably a little more maybe than you might throughout the year. There's Odie with a nice move to score.
Well, and she hasn't scored yet, and that was great to get the lid off the bucket for her and get her a chance to get in there. But yeah, I think you're gonna probably tend to stay with your key players more. Hopefully they all stay out of foul trouble, so you don't have to deal with that issue.
Barnes shoveling it off. Johnston a quick little runner, but missed it. Crimson pushing it. Quick spin move. Layup wouldn't drop though. Barnes back the other way, knocked loose. Now Pepper lining it up for a three. That one is short, but run down there by Sundberg.
Well, and Roseville's being very aggressive on the boards right now too, which is giving them a lot of opportunities.
Drew Johnston, a good shooter, but that time attacked off the dribble. Back to a 3-point lead here for the Raiders. Odie knocked away by Barnes. Barnes will get to it. And layup wouldn't drop though, and Odie grabs it. Click, an open look from the wing, and it's good for three.
Boy, you could just see as soon as she let that go, you could tell it. She was very confident in that shot, and it was very pretty.
Got her feet all set, ready to launch as soon as she caught that. So we're tied up at 15. Johnston, backdoor cut and layup, good for Sundberg. Boy, from our angle, you could really see that one develop. Great pass, great timing, and then they get the added bonus of a foul as well.
And just the confidence they're playing with right now, too. I mean, both teams, you can see it. Nobody's worried about the other. They're doing their thing. They're not worried about what the other team, as far as who's got a better record or anything like that.
Sundberg looking to finish it off the three-point play, bounces around and drops. So the Raiders lead it by 3. High screen for Odie. She goes the other way instead. Corner in the soil. That one's nowhere near. Johnston leading the break for the Raiders. Jackson open from the wing. That one's off. Pepper, though, an offensive rebound. Wouldn't fall. And Corman grabs it. Quick, had it stolen away by Johnston.
You know, she kind of did her hesitation there on her, was going to try and hesitate and go in, and Johnson just jumped on it.
Look at Mark Cook, 18th season at the helm here for the Crimson.
Yeah, I think he's wanting to talk to them about we've got to do what we do. We got to settle down. We get down there. We got to take care of the ball a little more, and probably talking about boards, the defensive boards right now. That Roseville's getting second and third opportunities off the boards.
Roseville leading it here by 3. We've been tight all the way through. Raiders have, though, had the lead for most of the early going here so far. After Maple Grove actually jumped out to a 5-0 lead to begin the night. There's Tanisha Scott, third season as head coach with Roseville. Played her high school ball at De La Salle and also at University of Minnesota Duluth.
Which I believe she has an athlete going up there now to play after she graduates from
Yes,
here.
Drew Johnston, who shot the ball just as we said that, but short with that one. She got one layup, but hasn't been able to hit from the outside as of yet. Maple Grove, that's the thing, these teams scouted each other a little bit. They're not giving her a lot of open looks so far.
Well, and she can hit the threes. It's just she's not on right now, which is good for Maple Grove if they're looking at it, pressuring her and make her uncomfortable.
Abby Steiner, 12, came in there for Maple Grove, as we saw. Here's Stern driving it. Double team arrives, so she goes over to Steiner, and she drives into the lane off the glass, wouldn't go. Pepper grabs the rebound, and it'll be a foul on Maple Grove. Pepper's played a good game so far for them. She got a couple of those layups, but also has been rebounding the ball very well at both ends. Roseville not as especially big team overall, but Pepper has done some good work at 6 foot.
She's been very aggressive on the boards, aggressive on defense.
Johnston bringing it front court here. Derek Grossi, 24, is in there for Roseville. Here's Barnes turning the corner. Left-hand layup is good. As she has had a very solid start to the game with 9 points already.
She's just so comfortable with the ball and what she does with the ball and how she attacks.
And that one thrown over Click's head as Stern tried to find her cutting. Good idea, but just not the execution that you needed there. Corman will come back in here for Maple Grove.
I mean, you look at it, we were talking earlier how well Roseville spreads the floor. Exactly did the same thing there.
Pepper a shot fake and then stepped in, but missed it with the air ball. Kind of feast or famine. We've seen some shots for both teams that have been really nice, and a few that maybe the nerves getting to them a little bit. There have been some bad misses as well.
Still some championship jitters to try and work out on the floor here.
Knocked away from Quick, but Odie, right place at the right time. Kicks it over to Steiner. Now into Corman. Good patience there, but missed the shot, and Pepper the rebound. Barnes will give it back to Pepper. Fires and hits the three. Eight-point lead now, biggest for either team. Raiders playing well. And Barnes up with the steal, but then stepped out of bounds.
Well, and that's what I'm sure coach is going to talk about eventually again too, is it's the turnovers that's hurting them too. There's a lot of, the aggressiveness with Roseville right now is causing turnovers, and they're getting points off of turnovers.
Holmquist back in there for Maple Grove. Now Kennedy Click pulling up from 15. It comes right back to her. Second time is good.
Yeah, a little short on that first one and just followed it up.
Breaks a bit of a drought here for the Crimson. They needed that one. They're still down 6. Barnes driving it hard and then swings it across. Grossi won't go for 3, and Corman the rebound. Stern keeps that dribble alive, bounces off the defender, missed it, but Corman grabs the rebound. Now Odie trying to get it up quick, it went off the side of the backboard. Johnston, an open look for 3, and she hits. Been a little bit cold early, but she is definitely a shooter. And it's back to a 9-point game now.
And she'll shoot those threes deeper and deeper. I mean, she has an amazing touch. And
Odie into traffic, will get a blocking foul. I think it's on Sundberg, the help defender coming over. Another look at Johnston knocking that one down. She's not going to stop shooting if she missed a couple early. I mean,
no.
She's too much of a valuable, consistent weapon for this team, averaging over 15 a game.
Well, and kids will miss some of those, and if they're your shooter, you just got to tell them, you keep finding your shot. Maybe you need to go in for a 2 now and then just come back to it, but you're my shooter, so just keep shooting.
Crimson got the ball in deep, but not able to finish. Don't let them play tonight, too. I mean, you're going to get bumped around a little bit. I think we've seen it. That's going to be an illegal screen. We've seen it both ways where you'd say, it could have maybe been a foul, but you're not going to call every little thing in a section championship game, and you got to kind of know that. Jackson at 5'3", setting a screen out high, called for the illegal screen there.
I've liked it. The referees, the kids have been able to play a little more, and it hasn't been as, like you said, as many fouls. They just let them play, and that's good to see.
Into Corman, got good position. This time there will be a foul on Pepper. She got her on her back. Corman's got good size and good job, sealing. There's so many little nuances to post play, and it isn't just what you do when you get the ball, it's what you do before you get the ball.
Well, and exactly, and to be a good post, you got to be able to hold your position, you got to be able to seal and post up well and make sure you get the ball, then make your move.
Corman's first free throw good, second one spins out. So Roseville up by 8 here, 26-18. The free throwing not great so far for Maple Grove. Pepper will hand it off to Johnston, and now Barnes. Interesting that the teams are not shying away from putting their best offensive players on the other team's better players offensively too.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch the different matchups that keep coming up, and I like watching what Maple Grove's doing right now, and as far as with Corman in there and as an extra to try and reduce some of the driving that is happening, because she's been kind of staying down. She's got her person, but she's helping into that lane.
Johnston bouncing that pass. Annabelle Guillen-Boone, who's in there 23, recovered it. Now Barnes back out. Pepper shovels it over, and there's a block by Stern as Guillen-Boone tried to get it up quick. I think we have a timeout taken by Maple Grove as they felt Claire was in a little bit of trouble there, so they will talk it over here with 5:40 to go in this first half. Roseville a strong start, leading at 26-18 over the top seed from Maple Grove.
Well, you can see they're becoming more and more comfortable with what they're doing. And Maple Grove just got to settle, get back into their game plan. Don't get too rattled. there's a lot of game left to play. So, and I'm sure Coach is talking about some of the things and some of the decisions they're making right now, offensively and defensively. I mean, the adjustment they made down there kind of shut down some of the drives and making Roseville have to look for some other options, and that's going to be the key. How do they stop their penetration and yet still get out and cover those threes? Because those they can shoot the threes too.
See, Roseville defeated the Crimson by 10 a year ago in the same gym and the same. And this has kind of been the site for the section final for quite some time. And you know, it's not like the biggest, fanciest gym of all, but it's a kind of a nice atmosphere. I like the setting for it, and I do like the neutral site. Some sections, you know, have gone away from that a little bit, and there's various factors that go into that. But I do feel like a neutral site section final kind of feels like it means more, or something a little special.
I like that too. I think it's just the anticipation, the crowds you can draw in, and I love it when they used to do the double headers too. That just brought such a big atmosphere. This place was always packed because there was double headers.
Odie looking to Corman. Turns, wheels with the left hand, but it wouldn't drop. Barnes, little hesitation dribble there. Odie did a pretty solid job staying in front of her though. Jackson giving it back to Johnston. Quick, hounding her. And a chance to visit Maple Grove at practice right before the section started. Mark Cook said, without a doubt, defense is the biggest key for us. We feel good about what we can do offensively, but we just got to really bear down defensively.
Exactly, and you've seen some adjustments they've made, so it hasn't been, I mean, they're still being able to attack, but it hasn't been what seemed as easy as it was before. Now they're having to work a little more, take a little more time to try and get that shot.
Odie, the spin move, and count it. Jordan Odie able to finish that one, and will go to the line with a chance for a three-point play.
Well, and Roseville's definitely paying attention to where Odie is. There, she's doubled. She's got a person with her all the time, and sometimes she's doubled as soon as she starts to move.
Barnes will pick up the foul. Free throw, no good. Maple Grove continues to struggle at the line. Interesting too that that spin move was not called a travel. I've seen so many games this year where they call every spin like that a travel, and I didn't think it was, and I don't think a lot of times it has been in some of the games I've seen. But it depends on what official you get.
Well, exactly. I've seen that too on the Euro step by the girls. Sometimes it's a perfect Euro step, and it's like, some of them are getting called for traveling, and it wasn't. And yet, like you said, sometimes it is the way they've done it.
Johnston a miss, but they'll get another offensive rebound here. Jackson bringing it back out. Here's Barnes. Now Roseville's had a bit of a drought. They're still up 6, though. Barnes dishing. Corman stole it. Here's Stern. Going to go all the way. Missed. Odie, though, missed on the rebound as well. And then Corman was pushed as she grabbed the next opportunity there. So Maple Grove hitting the offensive glass, although unable to finish inside. Ooh, that'll be on Lucy Sundberg, and that is her 3rd. So again, we said the Raiders don't have a ton of size. Sundberg and Pepper both at 6 foot, and so that's number 3 on Lucy. That'll be something to keep an eye on. But Maple Grove continues to struggle hitting free throws,
which I haven't seen them do like that in the past, as they are struggling now. It looks like they're going to get a sub in there and get Sundberg out of there, because you definitely don't want to pick up your 4th foul in this first half.
Little bit of a different shooting background here than in a lot of gyms. You know, not really making excuses for Maple Grove, but might be a little bit of a factor on those free throws where you've got a wide open space, but it's dark behind both baskets. Here's Barnes. She was fouled. Corman came over to help, but just couldn't stop her momentum and bumped her way too hard for there not to be a call there.
Yeah, there was that. Well, and plus on her side, it's only her first, but you know, you just keep playing tough and try and play through it.
Barnes hits the free throw. And now they do sub Sundberg out, and it'll be Maddie Sundberg, the freshman, coming in number 30. So when we talked about, how much bench you use, the foul, you brought it up, the foul part of it is what often determines that as well, not just who's tired or who's playing well.
And then that's where it's kind of crucial, whose bench performs better. Who comes in and the bench creates a spark plug.
Pepper got a piece of that pass. Crimson turn it over again.
I'm sure that's definitely one thing that Coach Cook's going to be talking about at halftime is the number of turnovers that they've had.
Barnes missing on the drive. Again, looked like a fair amount of contact there. There's a steal by Jackson.
She is quick. She's aggressive. She's tenacious on defense. She's all over the place.
2:25 to go first half. Roseville up by 8. Here's Maddie Sundberg, and it's in and out. Here to be halfway down. Stern going to push it back the other direction. No good, but Corman's all alone and puts it back. Corman may or may not have pushed off there. The Raiders fans sure thought so as Pepper wound up on the ground. 6-point lead for Roseville. Back up top to Barnes. Odie able to stay with her. Johnston launching a 3, no good, and Odie grabs the rebound.
You've got to have a hand in Johnston's face when she's shooting because she is such a good shooter.
And knocked away, but we'll get a foul on Jackson as Odie had a sweet crossover. Defense got there, but just a little late, and Jackson will be called for the personal. Odie to the free throw line. See if this will be a 1-on-1 or 2 shots. Looks like they're calling it a 2-shot foul. And Odie makes the free throw. She has 5 points, their top scorer, and just a sophomore. Remember Mark Cook telling us a couple years ago that this is a chance to be one of the better players that we've had come through our program, and she's, I would say, living up to that.
She is. I think the thing that's hurt Maple Grove too, they've been to the line and they're making about 1 or 2 when they get there. They're missing a lot of free throws.
Maddie Sundberg, another 3, and this time it goes. Boy, the freshman not afraid to put it up coming off the bench. Missed the first one, gets the second one. It's back to an 8-point lead for Roseville. Quick picks it up out high, now to Stern. He had a foul away from the ball as Barnes called for holding Odie as she was trying to post up, and Tanisha Scott demonstrating that she felt like Odie was holding with her arms trying to post up there. One here for Odie, and missed it.
I can't remember seeing this many missed free throws by them.
So the held ball goes to Roseville. 56 seconds to play here in this first half. Raiders have led most of the way. They're up by 8 at the moment. Johnston losing the dribble. And then a scramble for it. Holmquist up with it, got it to Corman. Maple Grove able to get the turnover. Jackson hounding Holmquist. Well, they close to a 5 count, and it was.
They did.
I was just thinking, and then the whistle
too.
blew. That's some good defense right there.
We've seen a lot of players on the floor and a lot of loose ball, grab ball, and they're letting them play. I remember before in the old days, it just seemed like somebody go to the floor and the whistle was gone right away. So they're letting them play.
Barnes looking to attack. Odie cut her off, but Barnes keeps the dribble, goes with the left hand and lays it in. Great shot. 10-point lead, 10 seconds to go. Quick. Wanted to shoot it. It was knocked away, though. And I think that's going to do it for the half. No jump ball beforehand as we just reach halftime. Quick, a little bit frustrated there, and Roseville a solid first half here for sure as they go up by 10. Barnes finishing it nicely with the left-hand layup, and then they defended Click well at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the confidence that Barnes is playing with, and switching over to the left hand to put it in. And you know, I'm coach is going to go in, and Coach Cook's going to talk about you've got to make some adjustments.
33-23 Roseville at halftime. We'll be right back here to Anoka High School.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You will also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Welcome back here to the Section 5 4A Girls Basketball Championship on CCX. Roseville, the number 2 seed, leading number 1 seed Maple Grove 33-23 at halftime. Maple Grove advanced to this spot, of course, by winning the semis against Moundsview on Wednesday night. That was on their home court. Flick getting it there. And close game at halftime, but then Maple Grove only allowed 7 in the whole second half, and really kind of put the Mustangs away early. See a lot of things going well for them that maybe haven't become quite as easy tonight against this Roseville team there. As you see, Quick had 16, Odie finding her way to the basket as well. And Thursday night, last night, Section 6 4A Championship, Wayzata at Hopkins, and oh my goodness, what a game this turned out to be. Their 3rd meeting of the season. They'd split in the regular season. All of them were close, and this one was as close as could be. Overtime win for Hopkins as they reached the state tournament for the 9th straight season. It was as tough as could be. Many of those times have been going through Wayzata to get there, but this was about as close of a battle as they could be. Congratulations to Coach Tara Starks and the Royals as they are headed back to state, where they are the defending state champion, of course, as well. We're going to find out tonight who will join them in that 4A field. The last couple spots up for grabs tonight at this section and others as well. Roseville 33, Maple Grove 23. We will be back with more here from Anoka High School in just a moment.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back. So far, so good for those young ladies. Roseville leading Maple Grove 33-23 at halftime of this one, as Raiders, after falling behind 5-0, did a lot of good things in that first half. And they were able to come back and get Maple Grove out of their comfort zone a little bit as well, it felt like.
Yeah, I think they have. I think the aggressiveness they're playing on defense is really disrupting Maple Grove right now.
Take a look at highlights from that first half of play. Kennedy Click swinging it across, and Holmquist, the freshman. That was an early 3 as they went up 5-zip. But Barnes was hitting a lot early from various places. First hit that 3 and then driving the score there. Click got it over to Claire Stern, missed the first, got the second one to go. But Barnes, they've had trouble staying in front of her. A nice assist there over to Lucy Sundberg, and here's Corman powering it up and in. Maple Grove's had some chances like that they haven't been able to finish quite as much as they'd like to, in addition to maybe turning it over. Lily Pepper had a good first half for the Raiders as well. Click getting one to go in transition off the three there. That might have been my favorite play of the half. That backdoor cut, and then they get the hoop and the foul, Lucy Sundberg. And then Pepper showing she can knock it down from outside as well after hitting a couple of nice more layup type shots. And Johnston didn't have a lot going in that first half, but got that one. And Odie able to hit one of her 2 buckets right there, but they've done a pretty good job on her overall. See Barnes with 13, Pepper with 7, and Johnston and Lucy Sundberg with 5 apiece for the Raiders. Click with 8, Corman 5, and Odie 5 for Maple Grove. So Maple Grove, I mean, you've been through this probably on both ends of the spectrum, Patty. At halftime, you don't want your kids panicking, but at the same time, I mean, probably Mark Cook and his staff had, you know, some things to say. They didn't play up what they normally play like in that first half.
I agree. You know, you don't want your kids to panic. You got to go in and build them up and tell them, you've got this. You know, that's okay. We're going to do this, but we've got to make these adjustments here. We've got to do this on defense a little better. We got to, you know, hit the boards hard. And then offense, let's just settle down and run our offense. Let's get our good shot, work the ball, take your time, and one basket at a time is how we get back in this game.
I guess when you have the lead, it maybe always looks this way, but it felt like Roseville was more comfortable out there in the first half to me.
I agree with you. They looked very comfortable, and, you know, being led by Barnes like that, her confidence just exudes and passes on to their team, gets them to be calmer and play better. And I think that was a big help there.
Click inbounding to Holmquist. Here we go in half number 2. 1 half to go to decide a section championship. Holmquist handing it off. Odie with a runner, but it's short. She gets her own rebound, though.
And I think that's one of the things they talked about, too, is how are we going to get Odie open for a few more shots than she's been able to get.
Interesting right now, she has Jackson on her, who's much smaller, but very quick defensively. Click, driving and pull up, it's short.
You know, she kind of twisted as she finished that shot. It wasn't her normal pull-up jump shot. There was just a little more body movement.
Holmquist now defending Barnes, and she is playing her up tight. Not going to concede anything to her. She's just going to face guard her all over, not really caring where the ball is.
Well, you know, Maple Grove's doing a little bit of the same thing that Roseville did to Maple Grove with Odie. I mean, they had someone all over her and face guarding her. And
Barnes missed the first, but got it back and scores. Didn't let the early miss or getting bumped around a little bit bother her in the least.
She did a good job on that move, being aggressive, protecting the ball, and going up and finishing. There you go for Kennedy.
Kennedy Click with the layup, and just a nice little shoulder fake. They thought she was going to launch it from the corner and got to the baseline to score. Back to a 10-point game now. Roseville up. Johnston had it slip through her hands, has to track it down here. Pepper going inside, knocked away by Corman. Not sure you necessarily want to go to your 5-3 player on that play, and I think Coach Scott saying take care of that ball a little bit better.
It is so fun to watch Jackson, though. I mean, she doesn't back down from anybody or anything.
Ironically, it feels like Maple Grove's done a pretty good job on Johnston, but then some other players have hurt him, and obviously Barnes being number 1 on that list. Johnston whipping it inside to Barnes. Spinning around, but missed it, and Corman the rebound. Stern as they run it back the other way.
And that's what Maple Grove needs, is more stops like that, and then,
Near travel there for Click. Odie, a step back jumper here, it won't go. And knocked away by Roseville as Corman tried to grab that rebound.
You know, and Maple Grove, the girls got to realize right now, you've got time. Don't panic. Let's just get our best shot. Don't be rushing. Execute.
Click. Waiting for a screen here from Corman. Back left. That's going to be an offensive foul. Yeah. Quick led with the off arm. That'll be number 2 on Quick. Holmquist chasing Barnes around everywhere. Barnes then shovels it over to Sundberg. Orman got away with running right into her there.
So too.
There's Stern, called for the foul as Pepper drove. So Lily Pepper will head to the free throw line here for Roseville as Stern picks up her first. You look at scoring leaders throughout the season for the Raiders. They've consistently getting over 15 from Barnes and Johnston, and then Pepper third in that group and scores on the free throw here. And you see they were fourth. I mean, they've got a tough league. This is a team, as good as they are, fourth place in their conference. Second one good for Pepper as well. They've done better at the line tonight than the Crimson. One reason for this lead.
Definitely.
Raiders by a dozen. Jackson hounding Holmquist. And nearly lost the dribble there, but stayed with it. Quick whipping it down low to Corman for 2.
Seeing that they were successful in the first half by doing that, a few times being able to get into Corman.
That'll be a jump ball. As Barnes went to the hoop and they tied her up. It will stay with Roseville.
Maple Grove's got to be more patient on offense and move the ball so they can get the inside. Be successful there, then that's going to open their outside. But they just need more patience with their offense and run their sets.
Yeah, I think being able to utilize Corman would really be to their benefit, even if she doesn't shoot it herself. Ooh, Barnes goes down hard, but she'll head to the free throw line.
Is that on Corman?
Yeah, looks like it was. That'll be her second. Staying in front of Kendall Barnes can be easier said than done.
Oh, yeah, exactly. She's so quick.
Interesting that Raiders had trouble with Park Center, who really didn't have that strong in the season this year, but got things going a little bit more in that victory over Champlain Park. And sorry, Patty, you got a daughter coaching there, and you used to coach at Park Center, so they've taken the first 2 out. That's going to be a lane violation against Maple Grove.
You know, that the game with Champlain Park, it was a 4-point game at halftime. And then just, they started hitting more. Roseville, they just turned it up another notch.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, Maple Grove's game was similar too, where Moundsview stayed with them early, and then second half, not so much. Out of bounds off of Pepper here. So the lead will stay at 11. Freshman against freshman as Holmquist brings it up against Jackson. Oh, Holmquist almost lost that dribble there, almost carried it.
And the pressure that Roseville's putting on Maple Grove is making, they just struggling to get into their rhythm on offense.
They move their feet well at the guard position especially.
Yes.
Click, pull-up jumper, short. Barnes grabs the rebound, fouled by Corman. That'll be 2 in a row on her and 3 total now. That one, in hindsight, might have been one where you just kind of peel back and let it go.
Yep. And smart on the other player. I mean, she grabbed it and she spun, which then turned it into the foul on Maple Grove.
Maddie Sundberg in for Lucy Sundberg here. Lucy picked up 3 fouls in that first half. So far, you see the Raiders have not committed a foul in the second half yet. Maple Grove's committed 4. So something to keep in mind, certainly, when you head down the stretch, especially when they've been outperforming the Crimson at the line the way they have been. Jackson down the middle. Odie blocks it without jumping. And Masoi flipping it up too hard. Odie the putback. And Maple Grove to within 9 now, closest they've been in a bit. Jackson almost traveled there, got it over to Pepper. She had a little trouble with it as well.
some of them are getting so fast, going so fast, and they bring that ball up and they're almost losing it.
Maple Grove's defending pretty well here in the second half. And that's going to be an offensive foul on Johnston.
That was a great job by Holmquist just to get over and get set and help on that. Because Holmquist has been all over Barnes, and she just left her, she cut her through, she let her cut through and then turned and helped, and that was crucial on getting that charge.
Stern driving it from the wing. Layup is good. And Maple Grove making a bit of a push here. They're within 7. Pepper down low. Here's Jackson for the layup. Little pick and roll in tight quarters, and the smallest player on the court able to get the shot up inside. Odie, a nice hesitation dribble, scores, plus a foul. Odie did a nice job with that hesitation dribble. It'll be Maddie Sundberg picking up the foul, trying to draw the charge.
I think she's just maybe a little late, and then as she's going to protect herself, she actually comes out with her upper body on her.
Yeah, it looked like Odie was just leaving her feet before Sundberg kind of got fully into position there. And missed another free throw though. Crimson struggling at the line. 7-point lead here for Roseville. They haven't had a lot from Barnes here in the second half compared to the first, as Holmquist is just trying to stick with her wherever she goes.
And Holmquist has done a great job on her.
Jackson traveled. Coach Scott will let you know when you do something she's not fond of too, right?
Yeah, it sure looks that way, doesn't it? Yeah.
Odie will inbound here for Maple Grove near the Roseville bench. So Crimson down by 7, trailed by 10 at halftime. Odie. Stern now attacking, pass tip, but still got over to Corman for the layup.
Nice job for Corman to be able to hang on to it too on that. And when she was coming over with the ball too, just to get it, she was losing it and was able then to get it to her post. And
Maple Grove with some momentum. Yeah, that pass tip. Corman did a good job of staying with that one. And Maple Grove calls a quick timeout as they are within 5 and definitely have some momentum. And it wasn't that long ago I was making the comment that Roseville looked more comfortable out there. Well, at least for the last few minutes, it's kind of been the other way around.
Well, and that's really what Maple Grove needed, is a couple buckets to go in and get a couple defensive stops. And now you see their confidence starting to come back. You know, not that they had lost their confidence, but it seemed like they were playing more rattled before. Now they're starting to play Maple Grove ball.
And Roseville, when you think about this half as a whole, how many really good looks at the basket have they gotten? Not too many.
No. It's kind of been, they got the good looks in the first half, and now it's coming around. And you got to say that now the defense on Barnes has been huge. And it looks like they're putting somebody else on her now.
Yeah, Massoy's in there. Holmquist getting a little bit of a breather.
Holmquist did an excellent job on her.
Corman knocking it away. Johnston, though, recovers. Here's Pepper. Now they go back out to Barnes. Drives, dishes, and Lucy Sundberg for the layup. Great assist by Barnes. They had the help.
And she's heads up that way. She sees the defense coming at her, and she's got a person for a bounce pass.
7-point game again now, Raiders. After Crimson had cut it to 5. Stern, the Massoy cutting was fouled by Jackson. That's when Roseville would like that back, because it was going to be a really tough shot anyway.
Well, and you notice too, Maple Grove hasn't gotten too many looks uncontested for an outside shot. They've had to attack to get what they're getting, which, if successful when they're doing that, gets them at the free throw line.
No good on the free throw. Maple Grove has 0 bench points tonight. Roseville has only 3 though, as well.
Well, we talked earlier, that could be the tale of two things, and right now they're basically even. They're not getting as much from their benches that they maybe have in the past.
Missed it again, but Corman grabs the rebound and over to Click for 2.
I love that when a post has the heads up and she realizes she's covered and pivots and finds somebody coming to her.
Back to a 5-point game, closest Maple Grove has been for quite some time. Barnes down the middle, fouled by Corman. They're going to count the bucket.
That's her 4th. That's tough.
Yeah, that certainly could be a big factor there. Corman looking at the bench.
Well, I think Corman thought it was being called on somebody else.
Now they're going to double check.
Corman's crossing her fingers on there going, I'm hoping they're calling it on somebody else.
Well, we're at the end where this happened, and I thought it would definitely should have been on Corman. I think they're going to stick with that. Official, to their credit, double checking with their partner. Did you see anything different there? But and Mark Cook pleading his case right now, so Osseo will come back in, and Corman will check out. Now we're again discussing.
I wonder what. I mean, I thought they.
No, he's still.
Well, they're having a conversation with the official scorers, so. Well, she's coming back in, so maybe.
Well, there may be a possibility that they couldn't sub until there's a dead ball.
That's true.
I've said this before, and I hate to criticize officials, but you make the whole crowd look like you don't know what you're doing when you have a delay like this.
Yes. Well, and I thought they were ready to go a couple times, and then the table.
Yeah, that's
Called it
so you include the official score in that
the whole
whole
official
deal.
thing, yeah.
Barnes missed it. Corman grabs the rebound.
Corman's got to be smart right now.
7-point game after that bucket by Barnes, but she was unable to get the free throw to drop. Holmquist handing it over to Odie. We approach 10 minutes to go here in the second half. Odie is the crossover. Pretty good D though. Flick's going to shoot up a 3 and it's short. And Pepper with quick hands to get it before Corman could. Back out to Johnston, and now Barnes. Barnes wants to attack, got all the way to the hoop for the layup.
Maple Grove was knocking on the door there, now it's back up.
9-point game, yeah. Raiders have responded. Stern trying to turn the corner. Powers it up and it just wouldn't drop. Pepper picks up the dribble out high. Barnes helps her out. Barnes attacking and then just top. Rosie did not want to take that shot. She hasn't been in the game very long or very much tonight. I think probably a wise decision not to shoot that. Here is Barnes, and no foul there. She drives it into traffic. Odie whipping it down low. Stern for the layup.
You know, and that's what Maple Grove has gotten a lot of in the past, some good transition buckets like that, and they haven't had that many of them tonight.
7-point game now as Maple Grove getting that hoop. Johnston, oh, they almost lost it. Pepper picks up her dribble. Ooh, and now Barnes as Odie fell. Over to Pepper. Roseville spreading the court. Trying to take some time off. Lucy Sundberg will shoot it up and hits. A clutch bucket with Corman coming at her. So they use some clock and then finish it with a baseline jumper. Ice water in the veins there for Sundberg.
Well, and that's exactly what they want to do. Take time off the clock, get the best shot we can get right now, and Maple Grove has a little more urgency. They're playing with a little more urgency to get themselves back in here.
Click knocking down that jumper. Back to a 7-point game.
Running a little ISO here.
Barnes giving it to Sundberg. They want to draw another foul on Corman, but not going to happen there. Here's Click pushing it. Pull-up jumper in and out. And then lost. Let's see whose ball. Going to stay with Maple Grove, it looks like. Subs coming in for both teams here. Timeout taken by Roseville, 7:06 to go, and their team up by 7. Maple Grove chipping away. They've gotten within 5 a couple of times, but.
Well, and you know it's been interesting to see when they've overloaded like that, what they're looking to do, they can get the layup otherwise, but they also have someone coming back door on them, so they're giving themselves a couple options, Roseville is, and you know, Maple Grove's done a pretty good job with defense this half. They just got to keep getting some more stops.
With this timeout, we want to take the moment to thank Chanticleer Pizza for helping us out with the live production of tonight's game. And boy, that sounds awful good right now, too.
Yeah,
here.
it does.
Didn't get dinner before the game, but sounds like a great place to go afterwards. So we thank for their support of athletics in the northwest suburbs as well here. 48-41. Roseville has been in the lead for much of the game. Maple Grove started up 5-0. Feels like a long time ago now. I mean, obviously Roseville built that lead into double figures. Maple Grove got it back to 5. We still got plenty of basketball to play here.
You know, it's like the old days. It's like, hey, it's the fourth quarter right now. We're within 7, fourth quarter. We still got plenty of time, and it's just more stops and just keep on it.
It's an interesting thing for Roseville right now because of the last couple times you can see that they are trying to work clock. You know, you go through your head, is it too early to be thinking that way, or should you want to be full on attack still for a little bit longer? But they obviously have a player in Barnes that they feel like can get them opportunities as well. Here she goes on the drive. Foul. Let's see if it'll count. It does. Kendall Barnes able to score it and one.
They just have not had an answer for her tonight. That's the hard part for Maple Grove right now.
Odie called for the foul, and then seeing that replay, I would definitely say good call to count that hoop. She was going up into her shooting motion there. Missed the free throw again. So back to a 9-point game. Here's Kennedy Click. Spun into traffic, no good, but a foul on the Raiders. Let's see if it'll be Jackson coming over on the help to pick up this foul. Looks like it is. That'll be her fourth. So she, like Audrey Corman of Maple Grove, now with 4 fouls. So something to keep an eye on here. She's been a valuable part of their attack tonight. I mean, just the one basket, but obviously has done a lot of great things, maybe defensively more than any, but also just as a ball handler.
This is going to be the nemesis too, and Maple Grove's going to shake their heads on these free throws, the opportunities they're giving away there at the line. They're just struggling at the line tonight.
0 for 4 in this half after being poor in the first half as well. As you can look at their top 3 scores coming in. There's Click missing again, and it gets in your head then. I mean, the confidence level drops. Stay at a 9-point game. Here's Barnes, keeps that dribble alive. Second defender came, so she backs it out. Pretty good decision maker too. She knows when it's not there. Barnes drops it over. Maddie Sundberg hits a two, from the baseline. And now an 11-point Raiders lead.
When you watch Barnes as she was driving the middle, her eyes were up right away.
Rosie with the steal there as Steiner lost the dribble. Barnes was fouled on the way in. Let's see if it'll be on Odie or Stern here.
I think it's going to be.
Not going to be called a shooting foul.
But I think it puts him in the 1-and-1 now, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, they didn't call it on Odie.
And it'll be Stern getting her second. Look, they were kind of both there. Yeah, Stern with that reach across. Now Barnes hits the free throw. She's not been great at the line herself in the second half after a solid first half. She went 4 out of 5 in the first half, but now just 2 for 5 in the second. And right as I say that, misses.
Yeah, free throws here tonight is not the.
Stern lost it. Rosie up with it. Raiders by 12 as they hit the front court. Under 6 to play now. Whoa, a long distance three won't drop. And Holmquist grabs it. Timeout Maple Grove. Johnston, I think, generally has the green light. I don't know if that was the one they wanted right there, but sometimes you live with that a little bit too.
Yeah.
5:40 to go.
Well, and I think what Coach Scott's going to be talking to her girls about right now is we've got these plays, we've got to take some time, but let's get the best shot. And as far as Coach Cook right now, it's like we got to do a better job on getting stops and not the turnovers. The unforced turnovers or let's get in our groove. Let's run some offensive sets. Let's relax and execute on offense.
The margin for error gets a little slimmer, the farther we go with this double-digit lead right now for Maple Grove. But you still have to, attack it one possession at a time. Just let's get a stop and then, in this case, get a good look at the basket offensively.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's they were doing a great job on the defense, and Barnes, though, is just finding another level right now in her game and not going for the shot, but then dishing if she's got the person on the attack.
Well, and that's what makes it tough, too, is if they want to use some clock, she's a very hard person to try and trap or get the ball out of her hands, too. And then, as I mentioned, pretty good decision maker in terms of, okay, I'm going to attack until it's not there, and then maybe I've got a nice dish, or I'll keep my dribble alive and just spin back out. And for a lot of players, that's hard to do just because they, can get trapped. Here's Corman. Boy, that was a nice set out of the timeout. I think they had that one in mind when they went to the huddle there.
Well, and I think, too, that's what we've got to do is get as much out of Corman right now as they can.
10-point lead. Running some spread offense here, and now Barnes with it against Odie. Barnes attacking, no good. Grimson coming back. Here's Odie. Over to Click. Stern will shoot a three, but no good. Offensive rebound for Odie is good, plus the foul.
And that was probably one of the, if you think about how long it's been, they actually had a couple times that they've had an outside shot in the last couple of possessions that they were able to get off. Unfortunately, it didn't go good, but then you had Odie on the backside get that rebound and put it up.
Free throw good this time for Jordan Odie. Maple Grove to within 7. Again, closest they've been in some time. Barnes driving it and scores.
And I think Barnes, by what we're watching right now, coach has given her the green light to go one-on-one. Just take it to the hole.
Click, a step back here, one go. Corman, though, an offensive rebound. Over to Odie for the layup. Back to 7. 4:15 to go. Barnes handing it over to Johnston. Rossi gets through the defense and scores. 9-point lead again for Roseville. Maple Grove, when you're pressuring the ball like that, sometimes that'll happen. You don't want it to, but.
Right. Well, and the confidence for her to take it and just go and.
Stern down low. Corman, no good. And then we're going to get a foul, and that should be number 5 on Corman, unless that earlier one that they changed. I know there was some discussion about who it was on.
Yeah, it is her. It is her.
So Corman will foul out with 11 points. Obviously a big factor for the Crimson as their number 1 post option and also rebounding wise.
Well, and like you said, they were finally getting the ball in, and she was getting some good looks and a couple good buckets. And the question, though, then is, what are you going to do defensively? Because she was playing defense too. This is definitely where Allie's going to have to step up defensively for him for sure.
Johnston to the free throw line here has had, by her standards, a pretty quiet night and misses at the line here. So the free throw woes aren't limited to Maple Grove.
No, I don't know what it is, if it's the darkness in the background and the big openness, but yeah, free throws have not been on for either team really.
Odie tied up. Johnston actually ripped it away without it being a jump ball. Nice job. Click trying to do the same the other way, and it'll be a travel. And Maple Grove will end up getting it right back as they trade turnovers. Holmquist into the front court here for Maple Grove. Quick posting up was fouled.
Roseville has just been very, very aggressive on defense. Whoever the ball handler has, they are up and all over them.
Johnston will pick this up. Not yet the bonus. That's number 6 on the Raiders, so it'll be a baseline inbounds here for Maple Grove, which I don't mean to be making a joke here, but this might be better for Maple Grove to get a chance like this. And there's Jordan Odie burying it. Crimson to within 6. Rossi nearly had it stolen. Let's see, what do we have? It's going to be out of bounds off Maple Grove. As Holmquist got bumped a little bit, I thought they might be calling a foul on the Raiders.
I agree with you. I thought maybe it was going to happen.
At the screen there, and Odie able to knock it down.
That's probably the most wide open shot she's had tonight. I mean, on anything she's done, they've been so all over her.
Under 3 to play here. Roseville by 6, but Maple Grove battling back to make a game of it down the stretch here for sure. Barnes driving it. Barnes scores again. Wow. Every time Maple Grove has really cut the gap and made it look like they might catch them, Barnes has made a play.
She's got such a touch.
Here's Click wanting to answer. Over for Odie, had to save it in. Here's Holmquist for a 3, but no. And Pepper the rebound. Barnes drives and then got it out of there. 2:10 to play, 8-point Roseville lead.
Ooh.
Pepper got bumped a little bit, and we're gonna have a foul on Odie. As Pepper was wondering, how did that first one not get done? Odie will pick up her 3rd. Again, if you're Maple Grove there, not such a bad thing. I mean, you're looking for the steal first and foremost, but you have a chance to, have the clock stopped here, make them at the line.
Yeah, and then that's a good point too. It's, that both teams have struggled a little bit, but
Pepper 3 for 3 in this half at the line, now has 10 points.
just a little over her average right now.
And confidently makes a pair here. Raiders back up by 10. Stern handing off to Holmquist. Troy looking across. Odie flashing open. Turns, scores, plus a foul on Barnes. Odie answering the bell down the stretch here for the Crimson. They're down by 8 and 1:48 remaining, and a chance for a three-point play for Jordan Odie. And able to get it.
That's it. They need a good stop right now.
61-54. Barnes handing it over to Pepper. And now Jackson was fouled. 1:31 to go. They'll send her to the line.
Because at this point of the game, Roseville's content to just, work the ball, take some time off the clock.
So 2 shots now. That was the 10th, and Jackson knocks down the free throw. And gets the bounce on the second as well. 9-point lead here for Roseville. Under a minute and a half to play. Stern to Massoy on the run and gets it to drop. And then a quick timeout taken. So 63-56 here with 1:21 left.
I'm anticipating that Coach Cook is going to kind of try and set up some full court pressure on this, or some type of pressure, or whether it goes man or his own type of full court press, just to try and get that ball back right away.
Not the easiest shot in the world there.
No.
That was a clutch bucket.
Well, and just how quick everybody was moving. That was very impressive with her to get that done. Maybe not.
At least so far not showing it, but I guess that could change.
Yeah.
I believe they want the ball out of Barnes's hands, and whatever they would have to do to make that happen.
Yeah, it's been tough to do that tonight.
Deny her the inbound pass probably is their best idea here. They go to Johnston, and then she's able to get it to Barnes, and fouled by Odie.
Actually, maybe they're calling her backhand on her, because I thought she had hit the ball, but.
That's number 4 on Jordan Odie, and Barnes to the free throw line. Barnes has been fantastic tonight, although at the line down the stretch has been kind of hit and miss. And that would be a miss right there.
I think the Roseville bench was thinking it was 5 on her.
Barnes gets the second one to drop, so the lead is 8 again now for Roseville. Quick, knocked away by Johnston. And then a foul on Stern as Sundberg came over to grab it. That was not what the world needed right there.
No.
So Lucy Sundberg will step to the free throw line. She's just had 1 free throw tonight. She's 1 for 1. And misses that one.
Free throw, the basket has not been good to either team on the ends of the free throws, that's for sure.
Misses a pair. Maple Grove still within 8. Kennedy Click attacking and scoring. 6-point game. They get it into Barnes, under a minute to play. And we'll get a foul. Let's see if it's on Odie. If so, that would be her 5th. Nope, going to be Click. So that'll be her 3rd. Barnes will go back to the free throw line here. And another misfire.
Yeah.
Both teams have just kind of a house of horrors at the line a little bit here. More so for Maple Grove all night long, but Roseville's had their struggles here in the second half. 65-58 as she gets 1 out of 2. Stern bobbled it a little bit, now driving it in and lays it up and in. 5-point game, 65-60. And let's see, do we have it out of bounds or a
Yeah,
foul?
I think it was an out of bounds they were calling.
And timeout taken by Roseville. Boy, they got really bunched up there trying to get that ball in bounds. So 35.9 to go. Raiders still leading by now 5 points. Boy, you look from both sides of it. If Roseville had been able to make as many free throws down the stretch as they had been earlier, they probably would have put this away already. But if you're Maple Grove, you would be in the game a lot more had they been able to hit some too. So that's been a big story tonight.
The free throws definitely has. Just, you know, and then the number of, I mean, the attacks that Roseville's been able to do and get some outside shots. And now in the second half, Maple Grove's been able to get a few of them off, but not as many as they normally would have been able, you know, that we've watched in the past of them this year. But yeah, the free throws have been a total story tonight.
See what Roseville, always one of these little hidden things or things you don't think that much about late in a game is, you know, drawing up ways to get the ball in bounds in clutch situations like this as well.
Well, and usually who's your best free throw shooter? So
and they turn it over as Johnston couldn't come up with it. Let's see, do we have a held ball here?
Oh, it is jump ball.
And it's Maple Grove's possession. So down 5, they'll get it back. Again, they end up inbounding just right in front of, and they got a piece of that. Holmquist wanting to get it to Odie, looking for a 3. Turnaround, no good. Knocked over to Click, though, and she scores. 3-point game. And then a quick timeout. Maple Grove is not done yet. 65-62.
And he's going to be setting up again. Are we going to get a 5-second? What can we do to get a count? Get the ball. You got 22 seconds. You just don't want to give him a foul and put him down here to shoot. You want to be able to get a shot off right now. You know, and the other thing, you know, usually when you're in this situation, you're going, okay, who can we foul? You know, if they're Maple Grove. And then if you're Roseville, you're saying, okay, who's my best free throw shooter? That's who I want to get the ball in their hands. But what we've been watching at the free throw line tonight is it's been a tough call.
And they've been struggling to get open to receive the pass, too.
Right, yes.
There's some different schools of thought on. Sometimes people really like to try and screen, but then you're bringing an extra defender in the area, too. If you have somebody who's really quick and athletic, you a lot of times think, well, if they're guarding me with 1, I should be able to get open, but again, easier said than done. Now, do you ever think about throwing the ball over the top if they're really face guarding you too?
I've seen that happen.
Ooh, boy.
Almost went out of bounds with it.
Yeah, Barnes just barely caught that one. That one nearly could have been a turnover again. Barnes, good hands. However, she's been struggling some at the line herself down the stretch here. 19 seconds to go, and Roseville clinging to a 3-point lead. And knocks it down. Kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off when you know you have 2 either way.
Right. You know, and they, you know, they had a 3-point lead. Make 1, you're up by 4. We're under 20 seconds.
Gets them both. 67-62. Click. Pushing it the other way. Over to Stern. Tough shot, wouldn't drop. And Pepper up with the rebound and is fouled with 8 seconds to go. And the Raiders up 5 with free throws coming.
They've just been so aggressive tonight, and they disrupted Maple Grove. Their defense definitely disrupted them.
Pepper's second free throw, not good. Her first miss, actually, but then they get an offensive rebound as well. And 5 seconds left, and Roseville looks like they're going to be returning to the state tournament.
You know, she did a great job when she got the ball on that rebound. Barnes got it. She just tied it up and held it down, and it's like, I want to hold it. There's not a lot of time.
I'm going to get hit here, but I'm going to just hold the ball tight and take it.
Yeah.
Missed that one, but it no longer seemingly should matter. And misses a pair. Stern the rebound, now Click. But time winding down, Click's jumper won't go, and Roseville, for the second season in a row, will beat Maple Grove in this Section 5 title game. The Raiders win it 68-62. A strong game played by them, Patty, tonight. They came out and executed very well to build that lead, and then able to hold off a charge from Maple Grove. Sometimes that's hard, protecting a lead. They didn't hit all their free throws either, but they hit enough.
Right, and you know, I think that the key really was the defense of Roseville. You know, and then obviously their confidence when they were on the offense, but their defense, they pressured so much on the perimeter. They really made it hard for Maple Grove just to try and get into their rhythm on the offense.
Well, we did not err in picking our key player for Roseville, that's for sure. 31 tonight for Kendall Barnes, and handling the ball in some important situations as well. And Maple Grove, outstanding season overall, but it ends a little bit short of where they wanted to end up.
Exactly, yeah, they've had a great season, and this is hard. You know, and it's, you know, you were there, you had a good season, and that's what playoffs is all about though, right, isn't it?
20 for Odie, 18 for Click, and 11 for Corman before fouling out for Maple Grove. As we said, 31 for Barnes. Pepper, I thought, was really good tonight, had 12 points as well. Lucy Sundberg had 9 points for the Raiders, so congratulations to Roseville. They'll be headed to state, 19-10 record. And best of luck to them as they head over to Williams Arena for that 4A tournament. For Patty Sorensen and all of our CCX crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Hope you've enjoyed this one here tonight. It is Roseville defeating Maple Grove 68-62 in the Section 5 final.